What is up? Oh yeah. Shop Talk Podcast. Once again, we are live from the workbench. Fuck, I can't remember if this. I know this is November 27th. Okay, so again, this is for November 27th. I'm highly unaware if it is for episode 38. I'm pretty sure it's 38. Maybe it's 37, but I'm pretty sure it's 38. So, I have a few things to go over. It's been a while. So, it was the... Let me try to think. Got some different things to go over this week, of course. This is the blank canvas. Whatever. We got a few things to go over this week, as we always do. A lot of NBA news. Nothing too real groundbreaking going on, other than I hate to say it. I've always been a big fan of the NBA, but I don't know. The league's kind of boring me. Maybe it's all the super teams. There's some guitar, if you are a guitar player, some guitar-related stuff. Just a few little tips and tricks to maintaining your guitar, especially through the winter. I don't know about you, but we just experienced our first snowfall. Maybe it wasn't the first, but God damn it, it was enough. And it's the other day, yesterday, I put on a pair of Carhartt boots and a Carhartt toboggan beanie, whatever the hell you want to call it, and went to the store. But it was the first year I had to break those out. Some farmer gave them to me. And I know, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was good. But, you know, and your Black Friday, like today, obviously, we're far away from Thanksgiving, but, you know, I was enjoying my white privilege, eating my New York strip steak that was bought with food stamps. So thanks to all the taxpayers out there. I did go through some of the presets in my guitar processor I bought a few weeks ago on the podcast. I had pretty much deemed it to be useless, but I've been going through the presets and editing everything in it. Still not really where I want it, but a lot better than what it was. And we're also going to go over a couple cooking tips, maybe also some changes to the podcast. And if you don't know already, I also do cooking videos, and I don't know if I'm going to separate the two. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Getting to news around the league, of course. John Wall, in the last probably 6 days, he was in big talks. Excuse me. I hear that squeaking. That's my guitar strap. Let's see if I haven't done a little sound check through everything, but let's see. I got nothing. Yeah. See if it fell out of tune. And this is one thing we'll get into little tips. Maybe that wasn't the preset. Well, that's too much. sounds better. Okay, anyways, I forget what we were talking about. Okay, John Wall. A lot of people were talking about him in trade talks, and also he was having problems, whatever. Yeah, he was. They said reported he was going out to the clubs and whatnot. Can you blame him? I don't blame him. Let's see. Anyways, and then of course you have Celtics are having some problems winning some games. I think mainly closing out the games. Of course, you have the Baker Mayfield. Oh, I forgot to mention the Ohio State win. That's where we're at. Over Michigan. Seen Barstool Sports, Portnoy, or however you say his name. Page views. He's out in Columbus, Ohio, doing some pizza reviews. He's got the One Bite Pizza app. And I'm sure he just came out with one today, but I'm sure he'll come out with a couple more in a couple of days once they're edited or whatever. You know, he does 3 or 4 in a day, and then, you know, you don't want to put one out. You don't want to put, 4 of them out all at once. Obviously, you're not going to have people that watch the shit. So, yeah, I think it's Portnoy. That's how you say his name. Yeah. Ohio State isn't as good as what they probably should be and have been in the last few years. But they pulled out the win. And sports commentators saying it was a blowout. I think the only reason why it was a blowout was because probably Michigan should have beat them. Then you have the James Harden's odd dunk celebration, which I agree with. It's very odd. He holds his nose down, like his nose is bleeding after he has a dunk, because he's not much of a dunker. If anybody ever watches James Harden play for the Houston Rockets, he doesn't dunk that often, and he might not even average a dunk a game. I'm sure there's a lot of players that don't average a dunk a game, but I bet he doesn't average a dunk in every 5 games. It's just so, lately. So, let's see here. Oh, and I had some different stuff in the works as far as some sound clips. I got some more editing to do. There will be another cooking video that should come out tomorrow, and please do check that out. I believe I'm going to call it Not Yo, NOT-Yo, Nachos. And it's going to be my take on basically a Nacho Supreme, but it's not a copycat or anything like that from Taco Bell. But it is kind of a hybrid recipe. And again, if you haven't seen any of the other cooking videos, check them out. The one I'm probably going to link in, not this description, but link in I may link in this description if I can think to do that when I'm done with this. I wanted to get this out sooner. I wanted to get it out yesterday. Didn't happen, obviously. Worked a little bit today. Not very long. Long enough, though. Yesterday, I had a bunch of shit around the house. We'll talk more about that. Oh, so the video I'll link in there is the taco pizza video. I know it might not be a huge accomplishment for other people, but if you're listening to this on iTunes, I also have YouTube videos, cooking videos. Of course, the podcast is streamed also through the YouTube. Getting a little bit of following on the iTunes, But also, if you're listening to this too on YouTube, I'm also on, I say iTunes, I'm on the Apple Podcast app. So if you're listening to it on the Apple Podcast app, again, I'm also on YouTube if you want to watch it on your TV screens and not your phones. Obviously, that's why this is all video format. Now might make a little bit more sense to you. So, again, it will be the taco pizza video because it will be similar but not the same as the Not Yo nachos. Okay, and I actually wanted to do Not Yo nachos. Excuse me, as a pizza, because I've seen some various pizzas, but I thought nacho chips and nacho dip on a pizza. Oh my God, blow your mind. I don't actually know how this sounds. I mean, I can hear it obviously, but that's another thing. I need to get some recordings done. And yeah, I know I don't need to tell you. I just need to do it and just do it and blah, blah, blah. But I want to get some recordings done, some different songs, if you don't know. Also, fuckers, I play most of the guitar parts, if not all, and the music in the background videos of the cooking videos. I had my buddy recently film one, and it does look different. Everything's a work in progress. I like to get a lavalier mic, but that's another thing. There might be some changes to the podcast, but you'll still be able to reach me at this one. That's another tricky thing. Anytime you make changes to something like that, it's not that you're going to draw people away. It's that they can't find you, because obviously if you change the name of it, blah, blah, blah. Should be changing the picture soon. That's in the works. A trailer for the YouTube. Bunch of different little things. I just want to tighten stuff up. Had to do a little personal inventory of what I want this to be, and obviously I want good content for my listeners. Jesus, if I wanted good content, I probably should quit playing guitar. But yeah, I mean, so that's basically the gist of it. And yeah, and I quit saying and. So let's see what we got going on here. Oh, I failed to mention. It was, I think, 2 podcasts ago, maybe 3. I did the Cavs are in trouble, blah blah blah, and the NBA's most improved player award. If I would give it, what was 12 or 13 games into the season at that point for the NBA. And I think I said his name was Blajinka, because I'm an idiot. It's Bjelica, and I may have said this in previous podcasts, but I just want to get that out of the way. It's Bjelica for the Sacramento Kings. He would have won the award, and if you want to listen to that one, I give out the 6 top players, and I'm guessing one of them that I picked, as long as one of them remains healthy, I think I will have already picked it. We'll see. I believe that one's not, some awards they give in the middle of the season during the All-Star break, but that award will not be given out until after the regular season's over, and we'll see then. Obviously, this is not necessarily week 38. This is week 39. I've been doing this since early March. So, I think I passed. I almost forgot. Andrew Wiggins. It was roughly a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. But he jumped up in the air I don't remember the player, but he kicked him in the nuts. But he didn't just kick him in the nuts. He used the leverage. I think it was Caspi. Omar Caspi, I think it was. He used the leverage from his nuts to jump up in the air. So he's, turning into another Draymond Green nut kicker. I only seen him talk about it one day. No one else mentioned it, but I'd be crying the blues. Okay, that's terrible. On to a couple tips, maintenance-wise, especially with the winter coming up for your guitar. And I've read so many clips, and if you don't know, I worked at the musician's pawn shop for 10 years. And just learned some different things, especially in a non-climate controlled building. I mean, it was, they had central heat and central air, but it wasn't really climate controlled, if you know what I mean. Nothing was fucking utilized there. Anyways, getting to the, if your guitar is cold to touch, say you don't have a humidifier, which most people don't. Even if you do have a humidifier, the humidity level should be about 50. Okay? So that's a good rule of thumb. Well, if you have no way to gauge it, you can look at it from this standpoint. Yeah, your guitar might still be dry. And a lot of acoustics, you're going to want to adjust your truss rod and take out, just crank it just a quarter turn. Even if people get scared when their truss rods start making that noise when you're cranking on them. Either way, don't be scared. You're not breaking anything. If you can't see anything that's broken, it's not broken. Yeah, you could have a broken truss rod. That's a whole nother story. But if your guitar is cold to touch, it's cold. I mean, it's just common sense. If you are cold, the guitar's cold. Okay? And then on top of that, say you don't have any way to judge the humidity level, I guarantee, and I maintained probably about 600 guitars and basses that were on the sales floor. Not everybody helped me. Let's just put it that way. Some people did, but likely not. So typically in the winter, I would back off just like a quarter turn on a bass guitar, definitely acoustic guitar, but in weather like this, not only if you have a solid body, bolt-on neck, you could leave it out of the guitar case. It's not recommended. If it is a acoustic guitar, definitely want to leave it in its guitar case. Don't want to leave it in a basement. You want to somewhat climate-controlled environment if you can. Speaking of, let's see if I got some of these other. We'll do a little sound check here. Of course, that's.
Who the fuck said that? Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle-toed cocksucker down here who just signed his own death warrant? You scroungy little fuck, huh? Sir, no, sir.
What is
you
it?
Little piece of shit, you look like a fucking worm. I bet it was you.
Was it Arlie Emery or whatever? Emery? That guy, the drill sergeant, was a real drill sergeant in real life. I heard that he died making a Kleenex commercial. I believe that to be true. Check my sources, people. Let's see if we got... What? Okay, that's pretty loud. Sorry, I should have warned you to turn down your TVs or your tablets or whatever you're not fucking listening to this on. And... let's see if we can... I think it was like the third episode I ever did. I was at the show in Lancaster. If you're in California, it's Lancaster. If you're in Ohio, it's Lancaster. And this Stevie Ray Vaughan lick. And the guy that was singing and playing, I was sitting in with his band, and he goes, or I don't think he played it like that. And I just went right behind him. I don't know. 4 steps. I won't even say it was 4 measures. So, hey, you want to back off of it in the winter. In the summer, of course, usually humidity goes up. If you're in certain states where your humidity is always low, obviously I can't give you any good advice because I haven't fucking adjusted guitars there. But, I mean, that's just the way it is. Especially, we're in Ohio. Tons of fucking humidity here. Okay, so if your guitar can withstand these kind of conditions, they should be fine. And again, an acoustic guitar too. I've heard a lot of guys say, even get in a humidifier, like for their acoustic guitar, stick it in the case, changes the tone of the whole guitar. I've also read and listened to other people say, and I don't know how true it is because I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but our ears can't even hear those kind of frequencies. So, it's up to your own discretion. Let's just put it that way. And also on your vintage tuners, say you have a Strat style vintage tuner, where the string, some people will string it through. Obviously, you can't put it through the post because there's no hole, but it could come through the post. You could string your guitar several different ways, but traditionally, you would actually take the string and stick it into the post and then wrap it around. If you have a more modern style, is what I like to play with. Actually, I'm playing a vintage style right now, but if you have more modern where it has the hole through the post, you can obviously wrap them around the top and then start wrapping them through the bottom after one pass, and that will lock them more into tune. I don't know. This guitar just falls out of tune a lot more easy, and I guarantee I've restrung over 1,000 guitars, if not more. So, I mean, it's not that I'm some kind of expert on it. I was just some guy in a dirty poncho. But that's the way it is. There's several different methods, and I thought about putting out a video on how to restring guitars and the different ways to do them. And you only really need to know about 4 different ways to restring a guitar. I typically only use one method, other than when I'm with vintage style tuners. I typically only use the one method, and then on modern style tuners, I use one method, which obviously is completely different. So. This has got to be one of the least funniest podcasts I've done in a long time. But with that said, check out all the links that will be in the description, whether you're listening to on Apple Podcast app or the YouTube app. And just should have a website coming out relatively soon. Still, I'm thinking about that. There's a lot of different things going on. And don't want to play. Let's see. Got a couple different clips. Again, this is from one of my favorite movies. Guess this one.
Hey, so what do you want?
What I've always wanted is to watch you die.
Oh, you ordered the meatloaf. The brisket's really good here, only you'll never know it. You fucked up.
You hear all their leather moving around.
Nah, you were scared little pricks. Both of yous. All yous. Scary shitless, but I tried to make you tough. I tried to make you hard.
Well, I had you all wrong then, though. So all this time I thought you just liked fucking and beating up little boys.
You two motherfuckers are gonna burn in hell. You're gonna burn in hell.
Yeah, and after you.
Did that hurt, Nokes?
Hopefully I don't get flagged for this. Oh, dude, I'm sure you heard that on the sound effect. All the shit just.
What I've
gushed
always
out.
wanted is to watch you die.
To watch you die.
Oh.
What I always
You
wanted
ordered the meatloaf.
to watch you die.
The brisket's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, only you'll never know it.
Guess
Fucked
that.
up.
You fucked up. Here we go.
Where's my cat?
I killed your cat, you druggy bitch!
God. Why?
I felt it would bring closure to our relationship.
You killed my...
You're what? You're... Huh? You're what, bitch? I'll shoot myself in the head! You can tell me that cat's name! Go ahead! You're what? You're precious little... Oh, Jesus, what color was it, bitch?
Why are you fucking yelling at it like that, you prick?
Shit, you fat ass, Raby! I can't buy a pack of smokes without running into 9 guys, you fuck! What?
No, I love it.
Where's my cat?
Where's my cat? Of course.
Who the fuck said that? Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle toad cocksucker down
So we'll
here
have new
who just
episodes
signed
every
his own
week,
death warrant?
just like we always had, except for last
Nobody,
week.
huh?
First time in
The very fucking
38
godmother
weeks.
said, I'll fucking stand it.
But
I won't
new
BT you all
cooking
until you fucking
videos
die.
every
I'll
week.
BT you until your assholes are sucking buttermilk.
Again,
What's
check
the
out
use,
the
roundy little
Nachos,
fuck? Sir, no,
Nachos.
sir, piece of shit, you look like a
That should be
fucking
coming out
moron.
tomorrow
Sir,
if I get
no,
it
sir,
edited.
sir, I said it, sir.
Obviously, I've got to cook everything, and then I do some post editing and everything like that. I appreciate everybody that's out there listening, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you guys have a great work week. Shit, I can't even remember the goddamn listing of this. I know the gain is way too high. I was gonna say, it's freaking cold out there. I need to go put on something a little less revealing. Yeah. See if we go. That's wrong. I can't remember it. Oh, whatever. We'll get back to that. You guys have a great work week. Thanks for listening. Check out all the links. Check out PayPal me, because I'm fucking broke. You guys take care. Thanks for listening. This works. Jesus.
Can it be that it was all so simple then?
Got me thinking, I remember the time.
Can it be that it was all so simple then?
Ain't no changing what's left.
Can it be that it was all so simple then?
Because we all race against death.
Can it be that it was all so simple then?
Got me thinking, I remember the time.
Can it be that it was all